I really firmly believe that the actual efficient size of a company is shrinking very rapidly. And so the future will be almost all startups. Like I think most of the world and most business will adopt the startup mentality in the sense that there'll be small companies loosely connected and coupled to each other, almost through APIs or processes for their needs. The Industrial Revolution, way back when, before I was born, created this massive clustering effect where basically said there's economies of scale from having factories, and so everybody has to gang together in these 5,000, 10,000 person companies. And I think that trend has now reversed thanks to information technology. And you could have a future where maybe your son or daughter will wake up in the morning and there'll be a message on their phone or in their brain implant or Google Glasses or whatever the heck it is. And they will have been assigned, they'll have a couple of job offers right that morning. They'll pick the one they want to do for the next 2 or 3 days. They'll do that through a series of kind of APIs and interfaces to the rest of the world. And then they'll get rated and they'll get feedback. So in the future, we're all Uber drivers, right? Or we're all driving lifts around with pink mustaches or delivering people's food. But I think the contract work trend is going to increase. And I think the size of your average company is going to decrease. I think we're going to see more and more billion-dollar businesses built by 4 or 5 people, and it'll stay at that. And so I think that is one thing, for example, the venture capital industry does not believe. I think the venture capital industry still believes that you're going to have to put a couple of $100 million into some company at some point to continue scaling it. I don't think that's true. I think you will be able to break out and outsource pieces that today you don't think are outsourceable. Like you will be able to outsource your sales. You will be able to outsource your revenue collection. You will be able to outsource your bookkeeping, reconciliation. You may not outsource the final stage of your hiring, but you'll outsource the early stage of it. So there's going to be lots and lots and lots of small companies loosely coupled. This is really bad news for all the people who were laid off in the last recession, because they don't think that way. They are going to go and try and find jobs at big companies, and a lot of the jobs that are going to be created now are going to be at small companies, which are going to require them to be more dynamic, more adaptable, more information savvy. A corollary to that is anybody who is comfortable with information technology today has a 10x advantage in productivity or greater over someone who is not comfortable with information technology. And so what you have is a phenomenon where it's, everyone likes to say the rich are getting richer and income inequality, but I think the smart are getting richer. And society doesn't know how to deal with this. And so literally, if you're someone who is good with computers, you can produce 10 times the output with someone who's working with their hands all day, or 100 times, or 1,000 if you're Kevin Systrom. So given that, society doesn't know what to do. We're not meant to handle those kinds of differences in productivity between individuals. And it's very hard to retrain the last generation. And so in the process, I think we're going to try and punish the rich, and we're going to catch the smart in that dragnet. And that's going to be an interesting dislocation.
So you think we won't see things like Facebook anymore, where a company in 8 years goes from a handful of guys to thousands and a huge campus and sucking up as much talent as they can?
I think any entrepreneur worth their salt could today build Facebook if they were building Facebook today and they had the same feature set, they could do it with a few hundred people.
Wow.
It's just that if Facebook and Google are in the situation that large companies end up in, where the founders know that 80% of the people in there are not really needed, they just don't know which 80%. You can't identify. They're all lost now in the politicking.
I think you described Yahoo.
Yeah, you can't identify. Yeah, the ratio might be different there, but that's Marissa's job. She's got to get in there and clean house. You'll know she's doing her job if she fires a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
That's
we've said that since she was hired. She still hasn't done it. So
she's trying to figure it out. She's trying to figure out which chunk.
How much of Yahoo do you think needs to be fired? No one's watching anymore.
I haven't, the truth is I haven't used Yahoo in a long time.
So all of them?
I know, I just haven't used it. I don't even know what they do that much. I mean, there are parts of it that are pretty cool, like they have some marketplace products like Yahoo Autos, and Yahoo Finance is probably still the best finance site on the web. But we switched off Yahoo Mail a long time ago. Yahoo Search, what happened to it? Right?
Yeah.
Did they go to Bing or something? Yeah. So Yahoo just needs to figure out what business is not in, cut all of those. So Yahoo doesn't just need to fire people; it needs to exit entire businesses and then focus down a new set. The future is all mobile, so Yahoo's got to bet on mobile. But saying you got to bet on mobile is like saying you got to bet on tech. It's too broad. So you got so hopefully she won't come out and say we're betting on mobile. Like, okay, yes, of course you're betting on mobile. What part of mobile? Right?
So if in the future we're all working for small companies, and in some cases you're even your own contractor and your own startup, does that mean everyone has to work harder? Because people at startups work a lot harder than people at big companies, on average.
Yeah, but you're working it your way. There's less bullshit, hopefully. And when you're doing it your own way, it doesn't feel like work. To me, the definition of work is a set of things you have to do that you don't want to do. By definition, if you want to do it, it's not work. That is literally the difference between work and leisure. Right? Like when you play video games, for example, when you're raising cows on Farmville and paying money to Mark Pincus, right, and you're depositing coins into his wallet, that's work, right? Farming is work. Why are you farming? But you don't consider it work because you want to do it. So that's the genius of Zynga.